So Andra, I know obviously so much has been going on recently. Can you talk a little bit about how the school district has been adapting to this remote learning environment?
Yes, these are indeed new times, and I think our staff have been incredibly agile in adjusting to remote learning. We respect that not one format works for every student and every family. So we've worked hard to provide online opportunities, but also paper, pencil practice, or even packet delivery for those students who either lack internet access or just prefer to work in a paper, pencil format. So I can't thank our staff enough for their flexibility and just the opportunities. They're making personal phone calls, video lessons, delivering packets to doorsteps, just really adapting to families' needs. And these are indeed uncharted waters for us. So we're trying to be as flexible as possible.
You had a really short time to prepare for that. Do you have plans in place for these kinds of things?
Um, Typically, we have many technological tools that may be used during instruction, during school, but obviously we're leveraging these in completely new ways. So we just recognize and thank our families for their flexibility. We did take 2 days right after the school board soft closure to create plans, packets, get going with video lessons, give our staff a couple of work days to prepare that. And then we were rolling with distance learning after those 2 days, and now are typically delivering lessons and support materials in 1 to 2 week time intervals.
So a lot of students in our community don't have access to hardware, to laptops and technology. Can you talk a little bit about how the school district and the community is bridging that gap?
Yes, so we are fortunate in grades 7 through 12. We do have one-to-one devices, and thank you to our staff and our tech team that really mobilized those for our students to use at home. In grades K through 6, we respect that balance that not all families want their learners on a screen, and we have worked hard to mobilize the devices we have. A big thank you to IBE, the Idaho Businesses for Education. They have donated devices, and our tech team has been working quickly to image those and set those up. We've now distributed to elementary schools to the 5th and 6th graders who have internet at home but needed a device. And then our tech team will continue to work their way down using those donated devices to distribute at the upper elementary grades. We've also added some hotspots and Wi-Fi connectivity in all of our school parking lots. So for families that might choose to drive on an errand into the parking lot and download an assignment, then they can store it on a local device. Our school PTAs and PTOs, many of them have even donated thumb drives. So you'll see some of our elementary staff videotaping mini lessons and then delivering or mailing that thumb drive so families can follow along each week. So it is indeed a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to add that the Idaho Business for Education will link to that in the notes here for anyone who is interested in donating unused devices.
Thank you.
It's pretty amazing. So what would you say are your greatest challenges right now at this stage in the game?
I think one of the challenges for educators and for a system like ours is we are built on relationships. You know, we believe in those relationships. We leverage those relationships. High quality education means adapting and adjusting to students in real time. And typically they're right in front of us and we can modify and adjust in relation to their needs. So we're all just craving those relationships and trying to do the best we can via distance learning. But I think the biggest challenge is just continuing to be adaptive to students' needs. So for those who are watching who do have a student in our system, please reach out to your teacher or your school if you need more of something, less of something, some flexibility. Those relationships are just critical to how we do business, and we feel that absence right now.
Are you concerned about students falling behind? We hear a lot of conversation about that. And what can we do to remedy that?
Well, we know our students and our families are engaging in the best ways possible, and that just depends on their family situation. And we're trying to meet their needs and provide as many alternatives as possible. But we respect that kids are very resilient. They're doing what they can right now, and that we will absolutely need some plans in the fall to do a little bit of review, compress some curriculum, build space and time to catch up on a few items that would have happened this spring. But we know that, and we'll be ready for that. And we just believe our students are so just flexible, and that they are resilient, and they're gathering the pieces that are meaningful now. And then we will do what we can in the fall to adjust our pacing and our curriculum to meet those needs.
Yeah. So we know, the virus, it doesn't discriminate socioeconomically, but of course the impact does. And we know that disabled students, those in low income situations, have little access to computers and internet. I think we already talked about, you already spoke to that a little bit, but how are they able to cope?
Yes, again, I would just give a thank you and highlight a few things that our staff have been doing in terms of personal outreach. Our school counselors are making personal phone calls to check in on students. Dr. Joy Jansen oversees our special services department. And again, they are keeping weekly logs and contacting families. And that may be a personal phone call. It may be a handwritten postcard. It may be a check-in. They're working hard to modify curriculum and continue to support all of our learners. So it looks differently right now. And again, we're flexing and trying to support in the best ways possible. Obviously, that's a challenge in some distance learning situations, but I do believe that the personal outreach and the relationship is really key to making that work.
Yeah. So on the happy stories side of things, do you have some positive stories about amazing teachers doing incredible things? We want to hear these.
It's been so fun to see all of the innovation. And I know we've all stretched in terms of our technological skills and thinking about how we can deliver a quick mini lesson and then support it. So you will see everything from teachers starting their own YouTube channels. They're investigating Google Classroom. Our staff are doing read alouds that may be on the Facebook page at night to support our families. We have a learning management system at the secondary level called Schoology. So our staff are very adept at loading resources and mini lessons there. I've seen staff personally driving packets to doorsteps, tutoring a student in a driveway, honoring social distancing, a first grade teacher missing her students, so she was reading to all the puppies they keep in the classroom and then sending that video out. Just a thank you to the LPOSD educators who are going above and beyond. I think the other just absolute thank you that must be said is to our child nutrition team, our food services team, that the number one priority was getting meals and mobilizing food for families. So if you haven't checked out our website, we have 4 locations where we're distributing meals Monday through Friday. And another just thank you to our facilities team. They're working hard to continue deep sanitation in all of our buildings. And so it's a team effort. And again, we're missing that connection, but staff really are going above and beyond to find unique ways to reach out to their learners.
It's amazing how we come together, it's just the nature, human nature, to come together during times like these. So it's nice to hear. Is there anything else you would like the community to know? Anything we can do to help?
Just that we are working hard on our reentry plan, and we follow the guidance, obviously, of our state leaders and then our local leaders, and so we hope that we would be ready. We know we would be to reopen if that time should come. If that time comes this spring, or if it doesn't come till next fall, but I would love staff. Folks listening to know that we're working hard on those plans, because we really do want to greet our students as soon as we're able to. And the other thing I would just say is a thank you to all of those people who are seeking connections and supporting our local businesses, writing handwritten notes to educators, to first responders, just that those connections look different now, but you absolutely still can seek ways to find those and to lift up our community. And I've been incredibly honored just to see all of the outreach to the school district and from our educators out as well. So that two-way communication is just critical. And if we can serve you in any way, please let us know.
Small gestures go such a long way right now.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Andra, for your time.
It was a pleasure visiting today. Thank you.